Today is a fantastic day because over the last 9 years, Team Sugar Shay, which is teamsugarshay.com, and my daughter Shanley, who has type 1 diabetes, we've been fighting to help everyone battling the type 1 diabetes disease raise money through the nonprofit called Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And so today we are excited because there is a $50,000 match by a big donor. And what does that mean? That means that Team Sugar Shay and over 500 different people and individuals and families who have supported Team Sugar Shay over the last 9 years, raising almost $250,000, they all know to step up because the match is like the one thing that really ignites the fire for our support for Team Sugar Shay. And what's crazy is that I've been so honored over the last 9 years to be approached by so many different people who have family members, who have gotten the type 1 diabetes disease, who have type 2 diabetes, who has a grandfather who has type 2 diabetes. It's really overwhelming to know that I have a 12-year-old who has diabetes, and the granddaughter of the person who had diabetes lost her grandfather because of the disease, but after 80 years. And it always makes me think about the hard reality of type 1 diabetes and what it can do to impact my daughter's life, but also the lives of so many people that we all know, because diabetes is prevalent and there's millions and millions of people that have it. And it's really within 3 degrees of separations if we all open our eyes and look for it. So with all that said, what does this all mean? Everybody is busy in life. I'm busy. I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to keep up with my kids. Both of them are in sports. And my daughter, Shanley, who has type 1 diabetes, is in 3 different sports. And she is just so active and doing so amazing in every one of her sports that it almost came to the point where my wife and I looked at each other and we said, do we have enough bandwidth to raise money for type 1 diabetes? And the answer is yes. And the reason why is because over the last maybe 30 or 60 days, I've had 2 individuals come up to me. One I went to high school with, and he told me that, Tim, hey, I wanted to reach out through Facebook and just let you know, man, I got type 1 diabetes and I have some questions. Are you willing to help me out? Are you willing to answer some questions for me? And of course, I was willing to answer questions. And so we went back and forth via Messenger and Facebook. He was asking questions and I was giving the best answers I could. And it was just like, wow, you know what? For 46 years, he's lived without type 1 diabetes. And now all of a sudden today, his whole life has changed because he now has the disease. And I could tell because I went through that with my daughter and I knew what he was going through. And of course I was going to be there for him. But then there was another story that literally just happened the other day of another guy that I work with who came up to me and said, hey man, I know your daughter has type 1 diabetes and I know you know a lot about it because you've been dealing with it for the last 9 years. I for sure have type 2 and I'm hoping I don't have type 1 diabetes because my diet, my blood sugar and my A1C, and we went into all these things that diabetics talk about. And he said, what do you think? And so I gave him some advice. I told him to talk to an endocrinologist. And I told him, hey man, you got to pay attention to this. And if you eat this, and here's and it just made me think that today we are raising money for those 2 guys. And that today, you know what? I can't say I'm too busy because then I'm saying that I'm not going to be here for people that matter to me. And I'm especially not going to be here then for my daughter who has type 1 diabetes. So, man, this is tough, but I just want you to know that raising money for Team Sugar Shay is coming from the heart, and we appreciate at the Murphy family everything you guys have done over the last 9 years and everything that we can do to make a big impact on raising money for JDRF and just the fight against type 1 diabetes. So today is the day. If you want to double your impact, please visit www.teamsugarshay.com. Make your donation, and your donation will be doubled today. We appreciate everything you do, and we can't thank you enough for all your support.